Hello, everyone. This is BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we're here with coffee, tea, thoughts, and conversations with the BizChicks. I'm here with my friend and colleague, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. We want to welcome everybody watching live and in the clubhouse. Also, for those of you who are on YouTube, we want to say, hey, how's it going? We want you to reach out and subscribe to our channel. We also invite you to make sure that you like us on YouTube as well. Also, we are so glad to have you over here on Facebook tuning in and participating live. So we're excited. And today, every Monday, we get together and we talk about different thoughts that come across our mind. And we are looking forward to you, what would you call it, chiming in, participating, being part of this conversation, because it's all about you. So, with that, we want to get started this morning. We hope you have your favorite choice of hydration this morning. I've got my apple cider, which is seasonal. put a put a little cinnamon in it, and I'm excited about that. I didn't get to heat it up, but I am enjoying it. Also, I have my water because water is important first thing in the morning to hydrate your brain. So we hope that you've got whatever it is your beverage of choice. I see you got your water, friend. And we're going to get started with our conversation today. Today we're talking about the push.
The push. And Mark has his hydration. He says it's vodka. Okay.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
I'm early in the morning. Well, it's still morning, Mark, over there where you are in Chicago.
Yes, indeedy.
And I need to unlock this room over here. It's being weird. Let's see.
We're over in the clubhouse.
Yeah, because yeah, I need to go over here and let visitors in. Yes, okay. There we go. Hey, Carlos and Dr. Tachi and Ann over in Clubhouse. And why are the replays off?
Morning, Mark.
I don't know. I think this is going to be a good conversation, though.
Probably more than likely. Usually, when communication is challenging, it's because it's going to be good.
Right. I'm like, why is this? I should be able to turn this back on like right now, right?
So let me.
Or we have to do it when we start. I don't know. Okay, we're rolling on. Good morning, everybody on Clubhouse. Thank you for joining us. Today's conversation is the push. And for some of us who have experienced it, and some of others of us who were participating in the process, at the end term of a 9-month pregnancy, you have to push. The doctor, the nurses, the midwife, whoever will tell you to push, to bear down and to push.
Mm-hmm.
This is so that you can deliver.
Oh.
So that the delivery can be done, so that you can present the new life can come forward. You're going to have to push. And push is uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that nicely because push is really uncomfortable.
Yes.
Push is very difficult. There are things that come with the push.
Mm-hmm.
And so push, you got to push. Just saying,
right.
you can't just sit and la la la. The doctors and nurses are gonna, we need you to push now. They're gonna try and stay calm and try and get you through it. And I would equate the doctors and nurses as coaches or people that are in your life to kind of help you get the delivery done.
And sometimes you do have a birthing coach, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. And someone to who goes to classes with you,
Hmm.
right? And they're supposed to be there on at the birth to help you
Push.
manage whatever, push and manage pain and etc. Breathe. They're usually there to coach you how to breathe, which
So,
is very interesting, isn't it?
right. But in business, we have to push. We're going to have to push. There's sometimes some difficult parts of things where we are going to need to
Mm,
push through the blahs, push through, I don't want to do this today, push through to get us on that other side. On the other side of the push is the thing that you want.
okay.
It's the thing that you signed up for your business. It's the thing that you saw, but now we're at the point where you have to push.
Mm, mm, okay.
Um, and anybody would like to weigh in from Clubhouse, just raise your hand and I'll make sure that you get in. And
You know,
anybody
go ahead.
and anybody watching live or on the replay, how did you push? What did you have to push through?
I
Maybe
want to,
last week.
yeah, I want to say this about birthing things out. Sometimes births don't always come at a convenient time. You know,
Oh.
you hear about people having babies in the most peculiar places and under the most unusual conditions.
Mhm.
Nevertheless, once the push starts, you've got to roll with it, regardless of where you are. If the baby's coming, the baby's coming.
Right. Mark says, and in business, sometimes there are premature births and long labors.
I like that. I like
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
You jumped out there and wait, we're not quite developed yet, but we're out here.
Mm-hmm.
And in the
Mm-hmm.
premature situation, you might need to have some life support. You might need to have some more. It's going to be more work if it's premature. And then there are the ones that are the long labor that should have been birthed, you know, weeks ago. But here we are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, Sometimes there's some things there is what's called induced labor,
Mm.
where somebody has to push you to push,
Mm-hmm.
where the doctor kind of the baby is due now and it's time, but the labor hasn't started. So
Mm-hmm.
we're just pushing to the next place, pushing. If you don't get to, you can't stop in a push.
Mm.
You don't get to like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. I think I saw a TV show where the lady was in labor and she's like, can we just put it back in and just stop? No, you can't just stop in the middle of a push. You got to continue on, no matter how uncomfortable it may seem.
So my question would be, where are you pushing to in your business? What are you trying to push out in your business for
Because there people are
2020?
some people are pushing out a book. You've been working on the book, you've been dreaming about the book, and you've been doing
Mm-hmm.
things, for the book, and it's sitting on the shelf. It's sitting there and it's been there ready to go. Um, and
Mm-hmm.
the labor is overdue. It's time to push it out. Claudia says, I finally got myself through thoughts of taking things personally, pushing through, evaluating my decisions as to how I proceed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's interesting because taking things personally, it'll stop some action.
Absolutely, especially in business,
Hmm.
because you're gonna get some negative comments, you're gonna get some positive comments that are over the top. Um, so you have to be steady about where you're going and what you want to do. And I think this is a major achievement because your mindset definitely affects your business. Well, how you think, what you think about yourself, where you're going with this, and to take things personally can really throw you off the rails.
Uh, And Mark has another comment
Mhm.
here. Mark says, and it's helpful to some to realize that it is often allowing.
Allowing things to just be. Is that what you mean, Mark?
Yeah, clarify, please. Allowing.
Allowing yourself
Maybe
to
he's
be.
talking about the push. I don't know. He'll clarify.
Yeah.
Um, so pushing through, just let's just I on the in gym in working out
Mm-hmm.
on
Physical
the
fitness.
icon that on our thumbnail on the YouTube channel and on the Facebook channel, I put a picture of a woman pushing the tires. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you
Mm-hmm.
have to push. In order to push, you have to exert some effort, some energy, some you're gonna have to do it. You're gonna sweat in the push.
Oh yeah, I can remember when I had a personal trainer, and they would make you drag that tire behind you, the weight, so
Yeah,
that you could build upper body strength. And yes, it's challenging.
right. And this one was like a tractor tire where you have to push it over and then
Mm-hmm.
push it over and
Mm-hmm.
you keep pushing it. And as you said, as you just mentioned, you're building your upper body strength. You're
Mm-hmm.
building resilience as you push through. Because if you quit in the middle of it and just like, I'm just not going to do this, you're not going to get to the goal that you said that you wanted. Mark
Mm-hmm.
says allowing things to come forth, not allowing fear to obstruct you from moving forward. Get out of your way.
Get out of your own way. Wow.
Hmm. Not allowing fear to, and because having a child or bringing life into the world, and I'm talking about life in your business, bringing a new product to market, it can be fearful, but what happens if you don't do it?
Mm-hmm.
Society won't have the benefit of the thing that you're bringing forth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Supposing Steve Jobs or um, Microsoft dude, Bill Gates or whatever,
Like I said,
supposing they had never pushed forward.
mm-hmm.
And, despite what people were saying, like Claudia, people are not agreeing with you and they think you're crazy and blah, 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 blah. But what if they hadn't pushed past all that negativity? We probably would not be sitting here right now online, streaming, on the clubhouse, wherever. We probably would not be doing any of this because we would not have had the technology to do it. So there are
Exactly.
people who have pushed past the boundaries, going where no person has ever gone before in the Star Trek sense. Um, pushing,
Mm-hmm.
pushing through uncomfortable, pushing through, uh, just pushing through. Carlos, you got something to weigh in on?
Yeah, I mean, I noticed we're using the word push a lot, but for example, there are times when people have tremendous ideas and are afraid to have those ideas come to fruition. And then it's clear that these ideas are ready to go out into the world, but people either allow fear or not knowing how to move forward for them to push their ideas through.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure we've all had this happen where if we're really creative people, you see a new product or you see a new thing come out and you always hit yourself on the head because you had that idea first. And because you didn't push, because you didn't, make that movement happen, somebody beat you to the punch. Because not everything is only your idea. Other people have thought of almost every idea there is. They just didn't know how to figure it out and create the solution. Like, every problem is somebody's product. So if you figured out that there's a problem that you can resolve, you need to push it through. Otherwise, you can't complain when somebody else has. And then, so somebody's going to push if you're not going to push. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you.
I like that.
Yeah, very profound, because if you don't, somebody else will. Coach Karen said that's a good thing. And then Mark says, and so many quit when they are right on the precipice of making it. Tomorrow might be your day.
And today might be your day.
But you won't know if you don't.
Today is yesterday's tomorrow. Yeah.
If you don't push forward, how would you know? It's not like we can't. I shall not get up today and just stay there. We're pushing every day. And I think sometimes the push that we're doing today, it may not feel like a push because we get up every day. We get up, we get dressed, we do our routine, and we're moving forward. And so that doesn't feel like a push. It feels like a push when it's the way is not known, when it's an unknown situation, and now when it's not familiar.
When it's a challenge,
it could be a challenge, but maybe it's not familiar. And how am I going to be perceived in the marketplace? What will happen if I start my own room on Clubhouse? Who will listen to me? Who's gonna, nobody's gonna hear. There's so many reasons that we have on Clubhouse. There's a lot of people who won't do their own room. Because they feel like they're going to make a mistake. Hey, Dr. Tachi, they feel like they're going to make a mistake, or they feel like it's not going to be right, and I don't have it perfect, and I don't have all my stuff down, and I don't have the right mic, or I don't have the right lights to do live stream, or I don't have this or whatever, but you have a message or content that people need, and we need to hear from you. But you're going to have to push to do it. If you need to push and go see Dr. Tachi about how to do the 3 sisters, and you'll have to go see her to understand what that means. If you don't push forward, you'll never do your show. But you have a good idea for a show. And we just don't know. We don't know about it because you've never said anything about it. And then Coach Mark said, today is the cause of tomorrow's effect. Very good, Mark. So what you're doing today is going to have an effect on your tomorrow. So what would that look like? And then Coach Karen says, I tell people it took 21 years to get me to Canada. I asked at 5. My mom thought it was impossible. She thought, no, I asked my mom at 5. I asked at 5. My mom thought I was impossible. She said, I'm always impossible. But Karen does impossible things. She made it to Canada. She wanted to go when she was 5. And she's there now.
Thriving in Canada. Several successful businesses.
Mark said Tachi and her earrings have entered the chat. So today's conversation is about the push. Pushing things forward, pushing things out. And then the other part of the push, we do a daily push, like I'm working on a couple of book projects. And so I have time set up at 5:30 in the morning. I'm pushing for an hour. Get in there, sit in front of the computer and write something. Just write something. Mark does a blog every day, and he puts out a blog every day. He sits down and writes out his thoughts every day, and the world is better for it. what could we be doing every day, or what things should we be pushing on? A push session could be where you're working on something in your business. Set a timer for 30 minutes. I'm going to push through this, and I am going to sit and do my financials for 30 minutes. You need to call and cancel a subscription, or you need to do something in your finances. If you just took 30 minutes to push it through, sit down, be on hold, because they're going to have you on hold for probably the 30 minutes that you set, but you did it, you got on hold and you pushed through, and now you don't have to pay that bill anymore because you canceled that subscription.
Okay.
Whatever it is you have to do to push, there's some things you're going to need to push through to get to where you want to be, to get to where you want to go. You're going to have to push. Mark says here, I cannot tell you how many days I don't want to write that blog. I write 6 days ahead to give me some breathing space.
Wow.
Because there are days when you don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to push. Like the lady said, can we just stop? I don't want to do this. At first, I guess she had an epidural for the other ones or whatever. She said, I don't want to do it natural. Sorry, we are already down the road. You're going to have to push.
I remember that feeling.
Right. Alfredo says, I push smiles. Yes.
Oh my gosh. So the question is, are you a pusher? And what is it that you're pushing for your business?
Well, for yourself, it could be just, it could be a health situation. It could be whatever it is that you're doing. What are you pushing towards through to? The push could be going to school or taking a course. You'd be like, oh, I gotta take this class, or I need to crack open that book, or there are things that everybody is pushing and working on something. So another word for working on your stuff is to push. The push is the concentrated effort. It's the locking in. It's the focus. It's like, okay, I got 3 things that I'm going to be pushing on in 2022. And I wrote them down. Karen, you'd be proud of me. I got a whiteboard over here, and I got another whiteboard. Got to figure out how to hang it because it's kind of heavy, but it has where I can see what's happening on my walls in front of me. I don't like a lot of paper and stuff on my walls, like art, but I don't like a lot of stuff. And so I had to figure out a way for me to see the things that I need to be pushing on. So I found 3 things I'm going to push on in 2022. Just 3, not 100, 3.
Okay.
I'm just picking 3. Alfredo says I'm pushing into my career transition. All right, Alfredo.
Karen says, I'm proud of you, friend.
Right. I was inspired. So I got a big 3 pushes that I'm doing. And I'm looking at them, and then got to work on those big 3 things every day, push through. And you're going to how about pushing away some stuff? Pushing away distractions, right? Something comes up that's not necessarily what it is that you want to be doing, or it's not leading to the path that you want. You might have to push it away, push a plate away. I'm like, okay, made a decision that I was going to eat better, eat real food, and somebody brings in some donuts into the office. I was like, really? But I wasn't tempted because I had already made up my mind that wasn't for me. So the taste, I didn't have a taste for the donuts because I had made up my mind that I wanted to eat real foods and stuff. And if you have a donut box, that has the icon for the donuts. Just as a side note, the icon for the donut box had syringes on it, and I was like, okay, should I be eating this? Should anybody be eating anything out of this box? It just, me and my marketing mind, I'm like, I don't know if I'd eat that.
Interesting.
But these were different donuts. They did a new take on donuts or whatever. And so,
So they're the donut doctor. Okay.
Okay, whatever they were, I don't know. It wasn't.
What the marketing tagline was.
Yeah, it just had some syringes on there and the name of the company. I was like, okay. But they put the donuts out. Somebody bought them and somebody brought them, and I didn't eat them.
Okay. Well, we read this from Mark that we're always creating.
No, we're reading it now. We are always creating, even though in action. What is your intention? What are the steps that you're taking today to that end?
That's interesting. We're always creating. We're either always creating forward or we're always creating backward. Whatever decisions we're making are creating something. I get it.
Alfredo says, I push to be a better leader.
Okay, Alfredo, I love it. I'm pushing. Karen says, oops. I'm pushing through some studies at the moment and I'm adding a new branch to my business.
Right. Because she's adding a new branch, she has to do some more study. Okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm saying this for all of you people who wanted to be on YouTube. YouTube, we all know YouTube is a great place for your business. And because Meta is doing whatever they're doing to Facebook and Instagram, you need to have an alternative space that you can focus on. I know we've been focused on Facebook a lot, but you're going to have to do what Coach Karen is doing, pushing through and learn YouTube.
Okay.
And learn TikTok. That's one of the things that we're going to be doing for BizChicks is learning to use YouTube and TikTok more because I would say, is Facebook like unstable? I think they've been unstable for a while, but even more so with as they have.
I want to see you guys dancing.
Terry will dance.
My granddaughter and I will dance.
Okay. So because you're going to need to learn new things. Oh, I don't want to learn another platform. Well, you might need to, because we don't know what's happening in the metaverse over there. So we don't know what's happening. You need to be prepared for the unknown. Be prepared. Who said that? Expect the best, but prepare for the worst. Okay, so that means you may need to learn some new things. You may need to learn how to use TikTok. You may need to learn how to use YouTube.
So Alf says, I'm pushing for 100K.
That's Alfredo, yeah.
And then he says, I'm pushing to hang out with more nurturing people and less toxic people. Good choice. He goes on to say, I'm pushing to help a startup. Okay.
All right. So we can push away, we can push up, we can push back,
we can push forward.
Push forward.
So with that, I want to encourage everybody to think about what you're thinking about and then push for what you really want. If you say what you want, you'll want what you say.
Anybody in the clubhouse have any comments or anything they'd like to add before Ann? Stand by, Ann. Let me get you. I'm learning new buttons over here. I think you should have had an
and it may take a minute for the signal. I think that's the other thing. When things don't happen right away on Clubhouse, it has to go over there. Give it a second.
Okay.
This and check out out of she says, and check out my PDF. I apologize. I uploaded in the circle. Oh, okay.
All
Looking
right.
forward to checking that out over in the BizChicks circle. Yeah.
Okay. So I pushed a button. I'm not sure. Alfredo, go ahead. You were going to say something.
As far as what I'm pushing or my goals or what did I need to share?
Well, we see them over here on you're in all three locations. Um,
You said you're pushing.
yeah, you were pushing to
Startup.
help a startup. You were pushing to hang out with more nurturing people.
I understand. Okay, so one of the things I really, really, really need to push on is to focus on me so that I can do all those things first.
Ah,
So we start with the finances, right?
no, he said start with him.
He says,
As push to be a better leader. See,
let's further up. Hold on.
right, pushing to be a better leader. We all have to start with us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if we want to change our situation, we're going to have to change our minds, right? Or change our thoughts and our thinking, and
get new information if we need it.
right. That Mark has a comment here too. So what I like the fact that he's starting with himself, because if you there are a lot of people who start with the money, and the money is not going to stay because they never started with themselves before they started with the money. You understand what I mean? Because their mindset wasn't able to manage it, keep it, handle it, whatever, because you never managed your mind first.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. So Mark says, after you state what you want, decide that you will have it. Otherwise, you will continue to get more of the wanting. Decide now, even without knowing how you'll get there. I think Mark needs to, we need to have a hangout with Mark or a conversation with Mark, maybe a mini workshop or something to help.
Our mindset. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, helping people get to where they want to be. I don't know if he's thought about doing that, but I think, like a small group, not like a whole 10,000 people in the room. I'm just saying a small group workshop mastermind with Mark Ward. Ooh, that sounds good. Small group mastermind with Mark Ward.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Alfredo says push for understanding that money is a tool and not an end goal. Yay. So with that, we want to say thank you for tuning in to this Monday's episode of Coffee, Tea, Thoughts and Conversation, and joining in on the conversation of the push. We want to thank you. And as Terry always says,
hey guys, don't forget, remember now, go to the front of your own line and have a great day. We look forward to talking to you more and more as these conversations evolve. And we'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be here with, thank you, Dr. Tachi. Thank you, Mark. We'll be here with TJ online everywhere, all the way from New York City, talking about social media strategies. With that, we want to ask you if you would be so kind as to become a part of the BizChicks community if you haven't already done so. And you can do that simply by texting biz to 33777 and join us. We're looking forward to seeing your post over in the circle, Coach Karen, and we want to wish you all well. Have a great day, Dr. Tachi, and all of those listening in the clubhouse, and all of you who've tuned in live, and those of you who will be watching on the replay. Have a great day. Bye-bye.